All right, so I know you're an analytical guy. We've been trying to ask for the last week and a half, but really this week. When you look at film, first 6 weeks, I thought y'all tackled really well. The last few weeks, not so good. Like, when you watch film, what's been the difference?
Well, I think that every time that you're playing football against somebody and you go watch the tape and you don't succeed, it's kind of an important thing to give credit where credit's due. Frank Gore, guy we just played, he ran hard. Ark State ran pretty hard, and there was a lot of misses and fits and stuff on us. And I think that a culmination of us just not being exactly where we needed to be and them making good plays kind of just contributed to that. And then, it's pretty late in the football season. These guys are banged up, and when you square somebody up in the hole and you have a separated shoulder or something, it's a little bit different. And I think that as a team, we just kind of have to push through that toughness and make sure that, those little tiny moments, they don't secede them. They don't give them, because it's very important for us to knock runners back. I think that the first 6 weeks of the season, we did a real good job of that, and we kind of lost a little bit of our way.
So what have you seen so far and heard? Like, obviously, I mean, it was easy to get over to me, the Arkansas State loss, because y'all felt like, I'm sure y'all didn't play well, your best. And yet the other day, I thought y'all played better, just didn't seem to get any breaks the whole game. So how do you get past that?
Well, I think the most important thing is the toughness. And as a team, we have a lot of mental toughness. So we played Arkansas State, and it was on us to go out there and play better, because that just wasn't our standard. So going into, this past Southern Miss game, obviously the tone that we wanted to set was not a 34, we didn't want them to score that many points. But having said that, as you said, like stepping up as a defense, playing better, it's really important. But the end result is the most important part. And I think that just like working harder, that's all it is. You go back to the drawing board and you just keep going, because the game itself, like we had a pretty good game. I think that there was a lot of errors that were, like you said, just things that didn't go our way. We had a fumble on the goal line. Casey Osai is a great player. He would never knowingly not, what I'm saying? It was just a luck of the draw kind of thing. And that play right there could have changed the tide. And there was a couple plays throughout the game like that. And I think that those lucky breaks, not getting them, just staying as mentally tough as you can and saying we don't need them. We'll go make them ourselves. And I think that that's our focus going into this week, because these guys don't beat themselves. They're very, very sound, very technical.
Is it pretty obvious to look on film and say this is the best team we played this year? Or how do you see them?
I think that the film is important for offense to look at, defense to look at, special teams to look at. I've only seen the defense. I've really only seen the offensive line. So I can't speak on the quality of the whole team versus everybody that we played this year. It's one of the better offensive line units. And, yeah, they're one of the better teams that we played this year for sure. They've clinched the West, and that's not an easy fact. That's not an easy thing to do.
How are you right now? I know you were dealing with an injury and out for a little while.
Yeah.
Or are you just kind of through this thing, or how are you doing?
Man, I'm good, dude. I'm steady. I'm just a grinder. I love the game, and I had the opportunity to come back and play, and I took it. And, we've been talking a lot about the Spartans, just kind of getting the team into that mentality. And I think that's kind of always been my mentality. I'll either go out on my shield or I'll bring it back. So, as far as the team goes, we need great play. And no matter where it comes from, if the guy's hurt or if he's injured, if he can still play at that high level, man, it's not forced. You don't have to do it. You can always say, I am too injured to play, or I can't do it. But I feel like the team that we have is one of those teams where if a guy can go, he'll go. And I'm one of those guys. So I'm in a really good spot right now. I'll be playing again in all of our tight 3-down packages, just like I've been doing. I think that a little bit of the change in the season was getting back 99, Marcus. Me and him are playing pretty well together. And I think this is a good week for that, for us being a little duo on the inside. And obviously, Kadarius 90 is going to come in and, spell, and we're going to have a good rotation on the inside. So I'm feeling very good about my chances this week. I like it.
What is unique or different about this back compared to the other backs y'all face?
Oh, man, I actually have nothing but good things to say about this guy. Maybe uniqueness would be tenacity. I liked Frank Gore. I liked the way he ran. I liked Minnesota back. He was real good. This guy might be just the most hard-willed of them all. He really does seem like he's just got a good will, and he's just like a mean football player, and I like that. So I'm very excited for the challenge and, his stiff arms. Yeah, that's a big thing that he does. So we got to wipe him. We got to fit him up and run him to the ground because this guy's been making people look silly all year.
So we're all talking about y'all need to improve your tackling. This is going to be maybe the biggest tackling challenge of the year.
Most likely. Their offense is very, I would say it's very fine. It's going to find the guy who's not where he's supposed to be. And I think that as far as tackling goes, it's pretty hard to show how good of a unit you can be tackling wise when you have somebody out of place, and I think that'll be a huge week for us because I think that he's a great player, but dude, you get 6 Cajuns, he's going down, and that's how it has to be all game. We have to hustle to the ball, and we have to make gang tackles to make sure that our guys, when they're in one-on-ones, they don't deal with the stiff arms, they don't deal with the trucks, they don't deal with the cuts. This guy's a really explosive runner, and if you let him get ahead of steam and if you let his backup get ahead of steam, they'll burn you, and we're not trying to let that happen, And as to our tackling as a defense, like I said, it's very hard to prove how good of a tackling defense you are when you got to open gaps. So that's our biggest worry this week, making sure those gaps are closed. Tackling's just is part of the game of football. We should not be concerned with we need to do this and that. We should be concerned with fitting our gaps and tackling the ball carrier. That's it. It's nothing else. We're not worried about any outside noise. Like I know they won the conference or won the division, whatever. It doesn't matter. Coach has been saying it all week. Like, it's a huge game for us, and we're going to go out there and show up because that's the level of skill that we have as a team. And, we're capable of beating these guys.
How much of the frustration can get eased by beating this team that's 82?
Mm-hmm. Victory solves almost everything. So I'd say that there's a lot of frustration that would be eased and a lot of minds that'd be eased by us securing a bowl berth. Now, having said that, I think that work's not done. Even beating these guys, the team still has a bad taste in their mouth, and it'll be that way until we finish as champions of a bowl game because that's where we're at, And I think that as far as we go, there is no satisfaction. We beat these guys, it's on to the next, And we're really excited to put it on display and a little pissed off, a little bad taste in our mouths.